Hey,
Hello.
welcome everybody. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome everybody to the Mondo. I just disregarded your greeting.
I know.
Hey, how's it going? I just went right.
It's just like, welcome, people. I'm doing fine, thank you, Peter.
Every time we do a toy talk, I know it's going to be a fun time because we get to talk about the stuff that we work on so hard, and it's my favorite thing to do at the company because I love just like the vibe of sitting around and getting into the nitty gritty of it. So yes, welcome everybody in the comments. By the way, Hector, it was your birthday yesterday.
Oh, yes, it was.
Is that true? It's true.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, sir.
Inching ever closer to the void.
I thought you were saying 18 years old. I was like, no, that's like the worst age to say.
There's a word, yeah. I'm 18.
Finally legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy birthday, dude. I'm happy that we got to do this to celebrate. There's gonna be a cake coming in a few minutes.
Through the back.
Bob's gonna pop out of a cake behind you.
Bob's with the cake. Yeah.
Bob cake. Welcome everybody. It's an exciting night. We're here to talk about the amazing Scareglow Soft Vinyl Figure, something that we've been working on very, very hard in the background for some time, and it's just an amazing piece to behold, right?
Yeah. I mean, we this is a toy talk back to back, right? We had one a couple weeks ago with Rogue, and we really just wanted to have this toy talk to celebrate and talk about how unique and fun this, soft vinyl collectible is, because it's awesome, and it's one of my favorite things I've done here at Mondo. So, and worked on and been a part of. So, absolutely, we felt it was warranted to do a toy talk for this. Oh, thank you.
100%. 100%. And happy birthday to Hector and Jacob Walsh. It's always Jacob's birthday. But yeah, so the interesting thing about tonight's stream, and the reason why I think you and I both really wanted to make sure we got to do this one, is because this is a type of figure. It's a soft vinyl figure, right? Sofubi, that you and I specifically and a lot of our friends love to collect. It's usually we collect like Godzilla figures or, unusual, original designs, but we just love it. And when you look behind Hector on his collection there, a lot of it is Sofubi. If you know about our Mondo soft vinyl line that Hector's been designing with Space Godzilla and Biollante and Rodan recently, Sofubi is the thing that's near and dear to our hearts. But we always talk about how do we introduce the concept of Sofubi to a wider audience. Not to say that many of you didn't already know what it was, but starting to just think about how many different characters would be amazing as Sofubi. There's something about the fact that you can get this amazingly handcrafted collectible that is detailed and painted incredibly well, and it's got all these variants available, but it's also like welcomes you to pick it up off the shelf and like handle it, not be so concerned or precious about it. It still feels like like something that we would have like the way we felt when we were holding figures as kids, but with this grand scale, this incredible artisanship, and this amazing attention to detail and flair that you don't get in other collectibles. Did I get Sofubi pretty spot on there?
Yeah, no, and I think you did. And I think for me, it's my favorite thing to collect. I collect a lot of stuff, and for soft vinyl, like I will go out of my way. Like when I was in Japan last year, I spent crazy amount of money on Sofubi out there, because I mean that's kind of where the originator of all of this is, right? Especially those awesome Kaiju, Godzilla, Ultraman, all these sort of soft vinyl toys that came from Japan, right? And I remember collecting them as a kid, going to like my local Japanese supermarket and stuff like that, right?
That's cool that you had that.
Yeah, it was called a Mitsuwa, and it was like they sold regular groceries, but they had these little they had like a place where you could buy manga, or you could get like imported DVDs, right, or VHS from Japan for anime. Right, and they had a little section with like Bandai kind of like soft vinyl toys, and that's some of my first ones that I ever got. Like, kind of introduced me to it as a kid.
Yeah, there's something about it. It's hard to put to wrap your head on or put your finger on unless you have one. But I was digging into the origin of Sofubi, right? Like to prepare for the stream, and I've looked at this stuff before, but really just want to be able to articulate and it had its roots in the 60s. These were toys that were created in Japan for kids, right? Soft vinyl toys, because they figured that this would be safe from breaking, right? Mm-hmm. So, parents were more inclined to get these because, they were less likely to break and then, have to be repurchased or whatever it is. So, but that was the origins of it. So then collectors, started buying these, years later as adults, and people who lived overseas and didn't have access to these when they were kids because they were exclusive to a certain region. And now they've become an aesthetic destination. So, when you design figures to be sofubi, you look for certain characteristics. Oftentimes you'd look for a kind of static pose or a kind of like limited articulation, or big, bold features, big, bold paint applications, right? And then something that you and I love, and we'll talk a little bit about tonight, variants, right? So the fact is, there are some, like you have multiple of the Godzilla 84 behind you. When we do our road dance, we did 4 different colorways.
5.
5, yeah. And then, and I know for a fact, there are people out there who collect like one sculpt, period, right? I have friends that collect one specific Godzilla in every color, every, whatever. And that's
it's great. It's great to see those. Like, I mean, and you're right. I mean, that is kind of how a lot of the people I know who collect soft vinyl toys, right, and sofubi, right, from especially the ones in Japan, they have their wall lined up with, or their shelves lined up with the same sculpt, same figure, but multiple different variations of color, glows, glitters, all sorts of fun stuff that you could do with that medium. And that's how I love to collect it too, right? It's like, it's just cool seeing the different colors that you can do, and it was great seeing folks do that with Space Godzilla and with Rodan and stuff like that. So
here's a great comment from Jerry Jenkins. I love the scale and vintage look. Just not sure about soft vinyl. Never had it before. That's the point of this figure. We had a feeling that a lot of Motu collectors, obviously you love Scareglow. He's like one of those characters that, like, we were talking about it recently with the Creature from the Black Lagoon and Godzilla, and there's certain characters that people will just get anything of that character. Scareglow is one of those characters, because it was so hard to find and rare in the past that now whenever somebody sees something of Scareglow, they'll grab it. So we figured if we're going to introduce Motu fans to sofubi, what better way? And plus Scareglow just lends himself to it. And I think we should start looking at some pictures because
No, but you know what? Yeah, as you pull those up, we've been wanting to do this kind of a treatment to Scareglow for a long time. Yeah. There's limitations when it comes to fully articulated figures and having the bones on the inside.
Yeah.
And as some of you may know, we have done Motubi colorways for our some of our releases in the past, like Merman, Skeletor, and Man at Arms all got this kind of Motubi treatment. If those of you aren't familiar with why we named it that and why we even did that to begin with, it was as a way to honor the really over-the-top metallic pearlescent paints that are used in sofubi painting. And we try to apply that to our figures. And we've always wanted to, at least I have, right, do actual soft vinyl Masters of the Universe figures as a way to hopefully bring in a new crowd of people who've never collected soft vinyl before, and they can see and feel the tactile experience of it. It just feels great. It's just I don't know how else to describe it. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, and I think some of you are going to be hooked. Jaskuro says, pre-ordered mine. This will be my first sofubi figure ever. It combines everything I like, glow-in-the-dark, skulls, and translucent figures. Yeah, like that's the thing. There's all these features that can be brought into sofubi that sometimes are harder to achieve elsewhere.
Yeah, and in the world of soft vinyl toys, it's not something entirely new, right? Like X-ray figures have existed for a long time. There's been a ton of X-ray figures that have come out over the last decade, right? That is kind of a norm when it comes to designer toy, which I think designer toy, soft vinyl, sofubi, they sometimes go hand in hand, right?
Yes.
And designer toys really leaned into the whole X-ray thing, right? So it's not like it's a brand new concept in the world, but applying it to something like Scareglow, I think is something that just screams like let's do this in an official way, right? Like we got Mattel's blessing to do this, and huge shout out for them and being amazing partners in all of this, and letting us kind of do really fun stuff with Masters of the Universe. So yeah, we can talk about this image too.
Yeah, and so that's what I was going to get to, is that this figure, really, when you think about what we're talking about with Sofubi, this is, for all intents and purposes, this is a basically almost a one-to-one take on the original Scareglow figure, with obvious exceptions. But the point is, there were decisions made to keep a lot of things similar. Talk to us about the origin of the concept, right? Like, how did this idea first come to be, and why you decided to go this direction with it?
Yeah, I mean, again, it was we were trying to figure out a way to bring soft vinyl toys to Motu, right? And I saw a question here by Melanie: is soft vinyl and Sofubi the same thing? I mean, it depends on who you ask, right? The idea of a soft vinyl toy in the styling of a Sofubi can be seen as the same thing depending on who you talk to, right? I mean,
it's like all Sofubi is technically soft vinyl, but not all soft vinyl is technically Sofubi. Yeah. By using that name, there's it indicates a certain aesthetic and a certain appearance.
The word originates in Japan, and we try to be respectful for that that, obviously, but it's grown beyond that, right? So it is a stylistic choice, and sometimes the method of slush casting, which we'll get into, is very Sofubi. So anyway, the decision here to make this was just we wanted a giant soft vinyl Scareglow, right? We really did, and the medium of doing a slush cast, which is what this is, and when you all are able to hold this in your hand in a few months, right, when this ships out, you're going to get to feel why we chose soft vinyl, because it has such a different tactile feeling than, say, had we gone with just PVC. When PVC or plastic, right, it's rigid, and it has that really kind of brittle feel to it. And we were presented with that option, and it just didn't look right, and it felt it didn't feel premium. And so when we went the slush cast route, which is this method of slowly moving the vinyl, the clear vinyl, through the mold, right, so that you don't get air bubbles and such, it worked itself out perfectly to give it this really premium kind of feeling. It's almost like it's obviously soft, but then it gives you a crystal clear look through the body, which is what we were trying to achieve, right? We wanted those bones to be very visible.
Yeah, and I want to address something that I forgot to mention at the top of the stream. You guys came out in such a huge way for this figure already, because this is a timed edition, right? And it's been on sale since last Tuesday, and it's been insane. Like, the response from you guys has been insane, which we were all sitting behind like, oh, I hope people get that this is going to be so freaking awesome. Like, if you guys show up for this, we can do a ton of crazy stuff. And it's not in place of our 1/6. We'll talk about that later on. It's in addition to, right? And so we just want you guys to know why we love this so much. Whenever you see stuff produced here at Mondo, it has to start from somebody at the company going, this would be the coolest thing ever. And then everybody else going, okay, let's do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of our talks going to start that way. And a couple of things here that we decided. Obviously, we were going to go with the original, trying to update the original body, just not update anything to remove from the original, but to update it enough to elevate it to like a more premium kind of look, right?
100%. This is a good comment, Peter. Hector, you guys combine everything.
I like the hats.
Yeah, cool guys. Oh man. Yeah, but, so we put a poll in the chat, by the way. We'll look at it later on, and to see we're kind of going with adopting and adapting the name Motubi and bringing it into this line. If you guys like the sound of it, because it's Sofubi, Motubi. We use it in the past for different colorways in our 1/6, but I think it makes the most sense with this. So if we were to continue with Motubi, which looks very likely now because you guys blew us up. Who should we do next? We put a couple suggestions, and I also put an option for other, and you guys just tell us in the chat. And I've seen some good ones. People say do King Hiss. That's an awesome one, right?
Yeah, we were actually chatting about King Hiss right before we got on the stream.
That's right. Someone said slush. Oh, Alex, what's up, dude? Slush cast, slush head has a good ring to it. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, let's keep going on to this, because there are so many cool pictures. And honestly, we should not bury the lead. One of the best features about this is the glow. It is Scareglow after all. So is this picture augmented with digital effects?
No, this is a straight up photo taken by Raul. Raul, our amazing photographer, as many of you know him, Raul Barrero, who's done an amazing job and been working with us as our, especially Motu photographer for the last several years. He did a fantastic job here, and it's just straight on camera a pic of the glow. So this really does glow really crazy. I mean, the other day I was taking that I was moving this outside for a second, and I had it outside for maybe a minute, right? And then I put it back in, and it was already glowing. It's a really great glow. And also here, if you don't mind going to the packaging, I would love to talk about that a little bit.
Well, the size, by the way.
Well, and the size, yeah, it's a jump. It really is a jumbo piece. Like
here we go.
Yeah. So Jordan Christensen on our team did a remarkable job designing this packaging, and we, going all out with in terms of creating a vibe that's very different from our 1/6 scale, making it so that you could see the figure like in the box itself. So you don't, if you wanted to display it in the box, you can. And then if you look at that next image, I think that's what it is.
This one?
The one previous. Yeah, it just shows the entire, like, how it glows, and you can see Scareglow glowing through it, and with the whole package glows as well. It's really cool.
100%. Yeah, it's just great. Shout out Jordan Christensen, because it looks amazing. And it's one of those things, like, the packaging also feels retro in a great way. When I think about, how some of our, like, I think about Boglins and how they came in those awesome boxes. The box is part of the charm. So it's really awesome. I want to go back a little bit because I skipped through a few things to show that. By the way, Raul Barrero.
I know. Right? Yeah.
Just someone said it in the chat. When are we bringing him on? I'd be love to talk to that guy.
We will. In fact, we've been talking about bringing Raul on, not only to talk about his amazing history as a photographer, because he's super talented. If you all have never even looked him up, please do. He does photograph more things than just our toys or our releases. He has actually a super talented photographer. So please try to seek out his Instagram and stuff, because he's amazing. And yeah, we would love to bring him on, because I'm sure some of you have seen his not life size, but his 1/6 scale Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
And 1/6 scale, what's it called? Snake Mount.
That he built.
Yes.
Right. The other thing, yeah, exactly. The other thing I love about Sofubi is collecting the different scale. We talk about it, off camera, but I love some of the big 18-inch Sofubi stuff, or like some of the big 12-inch, 15-inch, just all these different sizes. I think about the old Shogun figures. Yeah. And so getting when you upscale something like the classic Scareglow look, and you blow them up to the size of 15 inches, it's just so awesome to be able to get like those familiar details that you've seen your whole life, like the way the belt is designed, and the boot, and the head, and all that, the weapons at this scale. It's just crazy. It's when you guys get these, you're going to see what we're talking about. It's just a wild thing. Talk about the decision to do it at 15 inches.
So it was really just to do something, just make a statement, right? Like we wanted it to be a statement piece in your collection, something that stands out. And we tried at different scales, and it just felt right when we got it to this 15-inch, and it set it apart from other previous releases that have been put out there.
Yeah. Now, I think we have not gotten to probably like the most interesting part of this figure, and that is the skeleton on the inside. Can we talk a little bit about that? Let me go back and get some more of these clinical shots. Where did the idea come from to put the skeleton inside? What were the challenge? I feel like there would be some challenges to doing that. And what were those challenges? And, finally, how do you feel about the result? I'm blown away by the result, obviously, but what are we thinking?
Yeah, the original idea was it was pretty straightforward. It's inspired by stuff that's come before, right? Like designer toy, X-ray toys, they all exist, out there. So it was like, how do I bring that to Scareglow? And I think as a kid, many of us have always wanted to see it, right? See actual bones inside of Scareglow. It's been something that I think has been tried by some other people in the past and stuff like that. Yeah. But it was something that I really wanted to execute, and it seemed to work the best in this kind of retro fashion without trying to redesign the character or anything like that. Just straight up do the classic take, what we wanted to see when we were kids. And that's what I wanted to see when I was a kid. I always wondered what the bones look like on the inside. And that's kind of what we set out to do. And with the help of Emiliano, which we'll go into his concept real soon here.
Yeah.
And Pierre and Tommy on our team, we were able to achieve it. Right. So, and then with this head here in particular,
yes,
it's kind of like our like little nod to a kind of soft vinyl Sofubi styling, right? This is, we wanted to obviously pay homage to the original release, but in this case, we also, as Mondo, we always try to include a new spin or something fresh with our Motu lines. So this was kind of like our little take on a more stylized version of Scareglow's head.
Yeah, you get swappable heads on this release. And we also, by the way, look at the skeleton. It's just so good. I just can't wait for you guys to hold it. I got a chance to hold it at Designer Con. It's just something else. And talk about something that's going to pop on your shelf. Like, as people who have a few figures, every once in a while you get one of those pieces that just, it's the first place your eye goes to when you walk into your collection room. So let's talk about the weapons a little bit, because there's a little bit of a story to these.
Sorry, I'm just seeing Jason Bischoff spamming the chat.
Oh, that's right.
You need to highlight it. Highlight
yes. I'm looking around because my Godzillas are packed up. I'll get one before the end of the stream, possibly.
You need to kiss one live on camera. I know. Please.
I'll kiss Takuro on the mouth because I have him here handy. How about that?
That's something you can kiss for sure. Oh, there you go.
There you go for Jason. Yeah, the truth is my collection room is empty right now because we're doing some construction, so I have no Godzillas handy. But that's amazing. Yes, Jason's a man.
Talking about the weapons, so Scareglow originally. So a little backstory here, and this is pretty public knowledge, I assume, if you just search for it. But Scareglow originally was one of the close to final figures released in the Master of the Universe line back in the day. Mm-hmm. So there weren't that many of them made. So the original came with the green axe, right?
This one.
That one. But then there were certain a handful, right, that came with the white glow-in-the-dark axe. And that one's really rare and sought after, right? The original figure. Like, if you find that one with the white glow-in-the-dark axe variant.
Straight to eBay.
Yeah, I guess so, right? But we're trying to pay homage to that, right? So we included both versions. Both versions glow. They both glow in the dark, but the clear, the plain white one glows really brightly, and the green one has this nice little kind of like dimmer glow.
Yeah, I'm super stoked on that too, because when I saw it at Designer Con for the first time, again, if you don't know, I'm in Miami, Hector's in California. We got both coasts covered, but only in conventions. Yeah, Mondo coast to coast. There's only a few times a year we get together and we get to see all this stuff in person together. And there's something amazing. And look, I'm not saying this is the first time it's been done, but if you haven't seen this, when you get something that's retro scaled up to this size, it's so like, because the details when they're smaller can't be and back then they weren't as intricate, they were a little simpler. So when you zoom, when you kind of like blow them up, it just feels like it feels like it's art, man. It's just like this cool thing. It's like an intentional decision to make something as big as it is that could hold so much more detail, not. And that is just a great like again, if you're a collector of multiple figures, and it's something when you have it in your hand, it just feels freaking rad, man. It's just so fun.
And something that Soft Vinyl's done always does great is the big hefty pieces, right? That's what speaks best to that kind of medium. Like, you get chunky, every iteration of every character is like chunky, right? Yes. And Motu's already perfectly chunky with its giant muscles and everything for all its figures in the past. So it just kind of seemed to make perfect sense. Yeah, look, Peter with the smooching.
Hey, anything's possible, King Panther. Mondo Toy Talk After Dark. Yeah, I don't think any licensors are going to want to be part of that.
Toy Talk After Dark.
After Dark, yeah. Technically, After Dark here in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, for you, I have the sunset going on
right. Do we know? I think it's on the site. But do you have an idea before I close this picture off when it's going to ship?
Yeah, it's July.
July.
So a few months. It's not going to take too long.
Yeah, we're always doing our best, you guys, to get those shipping times to be as short as possible. Sometimes it works out super well. Sometimes it's not as quick, but believe us when we say we're always trying to get them to be as quick to you as possible. Sometimes it means keeping the secret longer, which is really hard. Yeah. So
let's jump to the
concept.
Some of the concept, some behind the scenes stuff.
Look at this. Look at this, right? So this is the concept art for the soft vinyl Scareglow figure, and you mentioned Emiliano designed these.
Yes. So I hit up
Emiliano Santa Lucia.
Yeah, exactly. And I pitched him the idea, and then he was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to see this happen." You know, it's again something that in the Mondo community is always wanted to be kind of like a thing, an official, Scareglow in this way.
Yeah.
And this is some of the sketches he did for us and illustrations. Obviously, he always does a fantastic job for us, but I just love him. He always goes so over the top with our designs, right? When we design with him, he's always adding amazing flourishes and detail, right? Because that's what we're looking for in our 1/6 line. So it was fun to see him do something super simple, right?
Yeah.
Throw back, and he was like, he from what he told me, really appreciated doing something like this.
Yeah, and like there's something, when you're doing something simple, figuring out what's too much, like how far can you go before it's too much, right? Like, at some point there's this economy and the simplicity of the design, and it's a classic design. Like we don't have to reinvent the wheel. What we were doing here is adding this feature that we wanted to see available at mass, right? Like if I imagine that there's customizers out here who've tinkered with a Scareglow in the past and put a skeleton in it. I imagine, but like the opportunity, and like we were saying, like with Sofubi, we're not inventing Sofubi. We're just trying to serve it to you in a way that's easily available, right? A lot of the challenge.
Because we love it. It's because our favorite. Again, it's one of my favorite things to collect. So
right, and if you guys get into Sofubi, like you will see that one of the difficult things about Sofubi is getting it, especially if you want things that are made in Japan or overseas. Like one of the best things about working with Mondo is that we're entrusted by some of these companies to deliver Sofubi. It's for Godzilla, for a Master of the Universe. Now, it's not something that was commonly done, and so when you wanted Sofubi, you had to go through like a toy broker in a different country and maybe win a lottery and then pay incredible shipping. So the fact that it's available here is really, in my opinion, the greatest accomplishment of this. So yeah, really cool concept art. And if I go to the next slide, you can see the early sculpt.
Yeah. And this is the ZBrush file.
Now talk about the skeleton here specifically, because when we were first talking about this, I kept thinking, how would you design the skeleton so that it can move and not, and not break the form, like not make like a weird long skeleton or something like that?
Yeah, so this, originally Pierre Bronner was who, we gave the project to, and he did some of the sculpting for us on this and took it to like a good portion, right? And then Tommy Hodges on our team, who's our wizard when it comes to collectible engineering and all that kind of stuff, like he took this on and he killed it, right? He did a really great job. And the idea here was, the real point of focus was making sure the arms moved properly, right? It was more about like, how do you get these the skeletons arms on the inside to not look super weird when you can see through it. So luckily, we found a good solution of just making the swivel joint just pegs going a little further into the rib cage. And that's where and it functions just right. And again, when we saw it in this stage, we've never held it in our hands, right? So it was when it finally went to our manufacturer that you put all the theory into test, right? It's like, okay, like how is it actually going to work? Because it's one thing to see it in digital, it's another thing to actually have it function.
100%. That's the test, right? When you get those samples to make sure they really work.
And talking about samples, I have
one. I'm gonna give you the one. You deserve it. Hold on. Let's see how I do this.
Just sharing this with you all, but just real quick. Yeah, this was just an early prototype sample that we got, right? That was just mainly to show us the function of Scareglow and how it worked. But this is super early on still. It was working out. It's a proof of concept, really.
Was this the first one you got?
Yeah. So,
what was the feeling when you got this in the mail? Because it gets shipped to your house, you open the box, right? It comes out, it's coming, it's not a surprise. But what's the feeling when you finally get that guy? in hand?
I'll tell you this. When I knew it was coming, I was looking forward to it the most out of our stuff that was coming in. I wanted to see if it worked, right? How is this gonna, we've been talking to them a bunch and making sure that, we were communicating what we wanted with our manufacturer, but, Monica, hi.
Hey, Monica.
So, when I got it and I saw it work and it was like, oh, this is amazing. And now it's like, okay, when are we going to get the paint on this?
Right.
Just like every time it was just Christmas over and over and over.
Because the job that everybody does at Mondo is brutal. It's a lot of work. It's not physical labor, but it's like this pressure to make sure we're creating something that's going to excite you guys, that's worthy of your time, worthy of your hard-earned money, right? So there's always this feeling like, is this going to connect? Is this going to be cool? But then when you get the thing in hand, you're just like, oh my God, now I can't wait to reveal this to everybody, right? It's like a moment. It's like so dynamic. It's like, is it going to be awesome? Okay, I think it's going to be awesome. Oh, I can't wait till it gets here. It's here. It's awesome. Now I got to hold this thing. It's a roller coaster, man. It's a roller coaster. And I agree with Havana 78 Soaps. Se lo comieron. Do you know that we're both Cuban?
Yeah,
Havana Soaps?
That's probably something people don't know.
We're 150% Cuban, or is it 75% Cuban?
Yeah. Well, say I'm half, so I'm not full. I can't find it all the way.
There you go. Amazing. So it's just so rad, right? Like getting that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then once you get it, and then you realize that it's everything that you were working towards and that you envisioned. Just like a lot of the people in this industry, right? It's almost like you're working so hard to make sure you're designing the product, you're sculpting it, you're making it look as great as you think it's going to be, and it's that final step once you finally get it in hand from the manufacturer, and it's like, here you go, this is like a tangible thing. Here's the articulation. It's a great feeling, and I don't take it for granted every single time for everything. Even like this was one of my favorite experiences that I've had because what it meant to me and our team of trying to do something new with Motu and stuff like that. But it's just in general, just like surreal, and it's pretty awesome to still be able to have that opportunity.
It's awesome. Now, Hector, before we get any further with this, we have a choice to make. We have things to do. We have on our schedule. We have cool things to do. Yeah. Number one, I'm gonna let you choose. We can do a trivia question. Number one, we're gonna give away. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. We're giving away 2 more gift cards tonight.
Yes,
because we're freaking crazy.
Gift cards.
Okay, so Mondo gift cards being given away tonight. But so here's what we can do. We can first do a trivia question, right? Mm-hmm. Then we can either go to reveal something interesting about this particular soft vinyl Scareglow and others that might be coming, or we can do some 6 scale talk. What order should we go here?
I think we can end the segment of Sofubi and soft vinyl Scareglow.
So let me show that cool thing.
Let's just show this image. And
all right, cool. Give me a second. I'll pull it up here.
Too crazy.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
And we're covering.
I need to remove our.
No,
that's the one.
Wait. Where the heck is that one? Okay, here.
It's behind us. People can kind of see it.
Hold on. Dang it.
Oh, it was there, man.
Could you hear me talking when I removed you?
No.
That's why I have to be able to talk.
People saw it; they can kind of see it. We planned other colorways, and in a honor to how Sofubi usually is done. Right? We were just talking about this, how we love displaying different colors of the same sculpt and all that. We are going to be doing that with Scareglow throughout the rest of the year. There you go.
There, I did it.
Yeah,
okay, you can still hear us, right?
Yeah, technology.
Okay, here we go. So this is the image I wanted to show. This is the news for a piece of news for tonight, right? So today and tomorrow, when does it end tomorrow? Do you remember?
Tomorrow it ends at...
It's like noonish, right? Like lunchtime?
Noon Central Time.
Yes. Okay, noon Central Time, I believe. I'll double check on the site before we peace out to make sure. It says, 12 p.m. Central Time. to 11:59 a.m. Central Time, and we do that because the noon is confusing. So 11:59 a.m. Central Time tomorrow is the last chance you have to pre-order this timed edition of Scareglow Soft Vinyl, the Motubi, with the skeleton inside the body, right? Clear body, skeleton inside, and with the traditional colors tomorrow. But as any great Sofubi, we're going to have variants coming. And as you can see, there are 3 more planned variants that we already know about behind the scenes. The next 2 are limited edition, which means they won't be timed. They will be scarce. They will be a little harder to get. And then the 4th one, we decided to make it timed. And that's because it's pretty special. So we don't want to say too much yet, but rest assured that there are multiple versions of Scareglow coming, because like with traditional Sofubi, you like to see these things in different colors and effects and all that. And there were so many good ideas. We had to limit them to just 3 more for now. Because we had so many ideas, but you're gonna love them. So stay tuned throughout the year. There'll be more announcements of that, and we'll give you guys plenty of heads up.
These might be available online. Some might be convention exclusive. So stay tuned, and we will be revealing them. But yeah, throughout the year, you can expect a few more Scareglow to drop. I'm already seeing suggestions in the chat. Some great ones.
I love this one. Team colors.
Halloween colors, right? I mean, it's like perfect for something like this.
Lime green and glitter. Interesting. Thomas Crosby. Thomas Crosby. Let's see. Red, blue, and purple glow variants. Those are awesome ideas. Hey, Toying Around. What's up? We love Toying Around. Subscribe to their channel. They're great. So yes, lots of good ones. And believe us, you're going to love the ones that are coming. It's really exciting to be able to do that. So Fubi, like not everybody necessarily gets I don't necessarily get every colorway of my favorite sculpts, but there are certain ones that I do. And maybe this is one that inspires you guys if you're
it's part of the fun, and it's part of just like you create some cool different takes on a character that it's usually not seen or expected. So there's a lot of colors, right? A lot of cool stuff we could do.
100%.
Yeah. So I think now we can go to the trivia question.
Okay.
Your 1/6 scale, a little bit of 1/6 scale talk before we.
Okay. Let me do that. Okay. So what do I do now? Let me see. We go to comments. All right. So we have a trivia question. Okay. And Hector came up with it ahead of time this time, which is great.
I did some research. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question was, correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, Hector, you ask it because I probably want to mess it up.
Oh, no problem. Okay. So, Spirit of Scareglow. What is Scareglow's original identity? What's the name of his actual character before he turns into Scareglow?
That is the question.
We're
all sitting here excited because we know somebody for certain in the chat knows that.
Someone got it. It was Justin Sturek.
Justin Sturek.
Well, not that.
Wait, no, someone got it before him.
Who got it before him?
Mr. Yak. Karak Knoll. Mr. Yak got it. We got you, Mr. Yak. You won. Congratulations. And then, did you hear that?
On a gift card. What was that?
Can you hear that?
No.
Yay!
Yeah.
You don't hear anything? There you go. Okay.
I heard it.
Yeah. You've won a gift card to Mondo Shop. So just make sure that you email support@mondoshop.com, right? And you get, let them know that you won. Whoops, not that one. This one here. Support@mondoshop.com. Let them know you won. By the way, I forgot to do this.
Oh.
Look at that. So congratulations on that. Now, because we're talking Scareglow and we talked a lot about soft vinyl, a lot of folks in here are really hardcore 1/6 scale collectors as well. Is that true?
That is I would assume. And also I think the folks who collect our Motu figures are 1/6 scale collectors.
So we want to, in the spirit of that trivia question and the spirit of Scareglow, I want to share this concept art for the 1/6 scale Scareglow. And now this was revealed at DesignerCon, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So we had this image on screen at DesignerCon. So if you were at DesignerCon, if you maybe on the boards it was shared online, but this is the concept art. Again, is this Emiliano?
Yes.
By Emiliano Santa Lucia for the next upcoming 1/6 scale Scareglow figure. Okay, so two different things. We got our soft vinyl, our Motubi, right? And this is our next 1/6 scale figure. Super excited. People have been asking like crazy about it. In case you missed it,
yeah, we felt like this is the perfect time to highlight more Scareglow, right? I mean, again, in the past we've released Scareglows. They've sold out very quickly. So we felt it was time to do a new one, a new version. As some of you know, he will have a brand new steed to be riding later in the summertime, right? So we felt that it was the best time to announce and release a new Scareglow, giving it a bit more of a what Mondo has done with this line, which is kind of update the design a bit, add some new features that the original never came with. And something to point out with this one is that we did reveal it at DesignerCon, like you said. We had it showing on the TV there. Yes, timed edition.
It'll be a timed edition.
Yes. And what's going to be cool about this one is that we didn't, traditionally Scareglow comes with the decal bones, right? Or the painted on bones, the Tampa bones, right? Our two previous Scareglows, both of them had that, right? The glow, one of them had the glow in the dark bones, the first version, and then the classic Scareglow that we released had like the more traditional Tampa black bones on his body. So in this case, we wanted to sculpt and have the bones like actually be a 3D sculpt on the body itself. So it's kind of hard to tell in the concept here, but you're going to be able to actually like see the sculpted bones all over his body, kind of like coming out of his chest, his arms, his legs, and it's going to give it a new kind of spin that I don't think it's ever been done before.
Right. So, yeah. So again, it's not the same figure brought back. It's a new revision of the Scareglow in 1/6. And Olaf is saying around when again? Do we know?
Summer 24.
Summer 24. You can see that right there at the top. I didn't read. Yeah. So yeah, apparently timed editions are popular. So we will make this one a timed edition.
For us here, it was mainly we've done Scareglow in the past, right? We've done two, and now this Sofubi one, right? In this case, we really wanted to do like a new take on it, right? And Emiliano did a fantastic job interpreting what was in my head. It was just like, you can go to the next slide. You will reveal some accessories. Speaking of Karak Nul,
now this is new. What I'm going to reveal?
Yeah,
we didn't show this at Decon.
We showed the heads, but not the accessories.
Okay, ready? This is new, you guys. You can screenshot it and send it to your favorite toy tubers. Ready? Mm-hmm. Toying Around is gonna have the exclusive, I think. Here is the Karak Null head with other heads, right? The classic, the retro. This, I love that, like zombified one. Is that a reference to something?
That's just something that we decided.
We invented. Good.
So yeah, I mean, with Karak Null, we felt it would be great to pay homage to his original form right before he transformed into Scareglow. I think this will be the first time officially that you'll be able to have like a Karak Null collectible or accessory. And then we're all big fans of horror here, big fans of properties like Evil Dead and all of that, zombies, right? Thought it'd be fun to have a mid-transformation head. What happened to Karak Null as he was transforming into Scareglow? I also want an excuse to put a helmet on Scareglow's head.
Yes.
So it's kind of like an in-between stage that we were able to create here at Mondo, just to give another layer to the collectible that is very different from the previous releases, right? And of course, to the side here, we gave him some new weapons that he's never had before. He has like a Morning Star. He's got he's got a whip.
This is the Morning Star here.
Yeah,
that's cool. Is that going to be a real chain?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then he's got a whip. That's going to be it's going to be bendy, similar to those who have Beastman, right? It's going to be a bendy whip.
Wait, now what kind of, that looks like on my screen, I can see it looks like it's made of like a cervical bones, right? Like a spine.
Yeah, it's a spine.
Oh, that's rad.
Spine whip. Yeah. So it's a spine whip. It's going to glow in the dark. And
believe me, I'm not sitting here pretending I didn't know. There are some things that even get by your friend Peter here. Like sometimes I don't see everything. Believe me, like I'm like, oh, this is rad. Yeah, like I knew generally what was happening, but now I'm really.
And then we have his famous axe and scythe, which we kind of combined, right? Where like one side is like the axe form, and the other side is like a scythe. They're gonna have a little swappable accessory, so you can kind of give it like this kind of really like ghostly.
This is so cool. Now, will that glow?
That'll be clear
green. Okay, cool. Now, this is what your friend Peter is most hyped about right here, dude. Because I saw those Orco effects that we did. And those blew my freaking mind. So this right here, this awesome like Shang Tsung inspired, awesome flaming skull thing and this little orb down here. Come on, I know those are gonna look so insane.
I mean, yeah, those will be in similar fashion to Orco, right, folks? I mean, it's that kind of clear painted accessories, and as we did with Orco, I mean, the new show, Revelations of Revolution, right? They did such a great job in incorporating Orco's magic and Scareglow, right? Like he has magic. He's made of magic, right? He comes from dark magic. So, it was one of those things where when we were I was talking to Emiliano, I was like, we have to include some sort of like ectoplasm kind of attacks, right? Because I love clear accessory pieces. As a kid, I loved clear accessories or clear figures or some of my favorite things. So when we had the chance to include the clear magic with Orco, I instantly knew I was going to do the same with Scareglow. And, eventually when you have both and you want to pit them up against each other, they're both going to be like blasting magic attacks at each other, which is be pretty fun.
Yes. That's awesome. I just can't imagine like someone wrote something like, let me see where it was. My wallet was hoping to skip this one, but goddamn, the accessories and heads are too cool to pass up. I don't think Scareglow is where you begin to skip. I think Scareglow is like, you're gonna get Scareglow. You know what I mean? Like that's just, you're gonna get Scareglow. And then you can figure something else at some point, but this is insane. And, being part of the Mondo team for a little over a year now and seeing and paying real close attention, Scareglow's that character, man. It's that character that everybody's like, yes, please, more, another version, please. I did miss the first one. I missed the second one, yada, yada, yada. And then this is funny, but it's like I think he meant Scareglow. Scareglow will be the first character when they release a 1/2 scale.
Probably, right?
It's a good way to test.
No, what's funny, and I don't know if I've shared this with you, Peter, but the first Scareglow release that we did 5 years ago was one of the first projects I ever worked on.
No kidding.
I joined Mondo. It was one of the first things I ever painted when I was here at Mondo when I first started. So the 1/6 scale Scareglow, the very first one, was one of my first projects here when I was officially came on board. So it's kind of it's really funny seeing it kind of grow in
full circle,
right? And then also when we revisited the Scareglow Classic, I was the one who sculpted the head and the axe for it, right? So I did and painted it as well. So then it was just one of those things where it just kind of goes around, and it's just fun to get a chance to work on this Scareglow, which is, I think, after this, like I'd be like, okay, I'm done with Scareglow. This is like my favorite version of Scareglow that we're doing right here.
Yeah, right.
It just looks.
It looks so good. I want to go back to it just for a second because I get such rad vibes on it. I love the chains. I love what do you call this part of the cape? This Doctor Strange part, the Spawn part.
Yeah, just the badass part, the cool part.
Yeah, it's just so good.
The collar.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait. And someone was asking about the armor that could potentially match the helmet. If you look closely, you'll see there's a lot of armor pieces that do match the helmet. So when you, right, Hector, am I right about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we intentionally designed it that way. Their helmet is very similar to the armor parts.
Yeah, it will make sense when you have it. So rad.
Yeah.
Hey, our friend Brian Carr's in the house. Just got home from taking my daughter on a college tour. So sorry I missed the toy talk. No. It's evergreen. You can go back and restart it. Just take my money. Yeah, I'm stoked, man. I just think if you're a Motu fan, you're eating good right now. This is the best it's ever been. And you guys keep showing up and supporting no matter what we try to do. And that just means we're going to do crazier and wilder and more bombastic things. And you know, because you guys support it, Mattel gives us the permission and the freedom to do cool stuff like this. It's rad. Someone asked a question. I missed it real quick.
Yeah, we can do a couple minutes on answering some questions here. But I did see someone asked about the cape.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Someone said, what's the next 1/6 after Orko? And we already announced it, right?
Oh, yeah. The next one after Orko is Tila.
And it's coming soon.
Very soon, actually. So
yeah, get ready.
Yeah. Someone asked about the cape, if it's going to be wired. And yes, it will be a wired cape. Just like
wired.
Just like the Scareglow Sofubi that we just put out, the Skeletor. And it's going to definitely be wired.
100%. Web store Buzz Off. Yeah, we love those guys. That's for sure.
Oh, I love Buzz Off.
Eric has a slightly off-topic question, but can we answer it? He just wants to know any news on McCready or Nada.
Yeah. Nada, stay tuned. Definitely this year. And then McCready should be. You know, I don't remember off the top of my head when the schedule was to ship out, but it should be on target.
It's on schedule. So if you go to the Mondo shop McCready page, you'll see the estimated ship date, and it's on target, hopefully. Okay, cool. Oh, and someone says, what about the Mo 216 vehicle? When will that go over pre-order?
Oh, the Sky Sled, right? That we did reveal. Was it? I think it was at
PowerCon.
Right? Yeah, that's
what we revealed sometimes. So I'm like, what can we say?
I know, right? I forget too. But we'll definitely keep an eye out because that's this year for sure.
Yeah. All right. So, man, we talked about a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, and I think this is cool. We got to preview something that, you know, even though some of it had been shown off at DCon, maybe people missed it in the past. And I think it's fun to use the Toy Talk as a way to sometimes do some cool reveals.
100%. And I see a lot of questions coming in about when's this character, when's this figure, when's that figure. I'll tell you, this year is stacked. So if we announced it, is it safe to say, Hector, that if we announced it last year, a certain figure, in 1/6 specifically, that it's probably going to be available for order this year?
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume.
Yeah. Okay. So just so you know, it's this year, but we're trying not to bombard people, trying to spread things out a little bit, right?
Of course. I mean, if you paid attention to some of the posts that were happening around Designer Con, we did reveal a lot of stuff there, and then we did have this video up and there was other figures that were reviewed, announced during that time, right? Also, some of us are going to be at C2E2 coming up.
Someone mentioned that they wanted to know if there were going to be any exclusives or news or reveals at C2E2.
Definitely going to be some reveals. I can't wait for people to know. So
C2E2 will have big news.
Yeah, some big news coming up. Big news all around. There will be some big announcements this year, which we're looking forward to. C2E2, and then we'll be letting you all know what other shows we're going to be heading to this year. We're going to a lot, so
we're definitely getting our travel on this year, that's for sure. So someone says, bombard us, we don't care. Someone says, my wallet, thanks you for spreading things out. Trying to please everybody, bro. All right, so we have one more trivia question to get to, and then we'll be we gotta look at the poll. Do you have the poll in front of you?
I don't have it, no.
Let me see, hold on, because I don't want to open YouTube and then suddenly, I can look at it here, hold on. I can look at it here. Okay. Okay. Right. With 127 votes in.
Okay.
The choices were Merman, Roboto, He-Man, and then other, which people could write in the chat. With a whopping 50% of the electorate chiming in, Roboto.
Wow.
Is number one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Roboto is number one. He-Man came in second with 20% of the vote. Merman right there, 18% of the vote. And then other was 13%. Now, the interesting thing that I'm not going to say anything specific, but people should think about is that there are some characters, if you think about the origin of Masters of the Universe toy line, there are some characters that are essentially variants of other characters. So think about that as we continue our Motubi line, that there's a lot of fun ways to explore the idea of variance. Now, Olaf has said it best, Scareglow. Exactly. So we with that, let's get one more trivia question. Hector, what do you think I'm going to ask let me say this. Yeah. What if I'm going to ask a question that I don't necessarily know the answer to, but I will Google it. Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay.
That works for me. I mean,
okay.
Go for it.
This is an easy one, but because I can't think of it right now, it feels challenging. I know that it's not hard. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What is the name of the playset from Masters of the Universe, of course, where, and I'm asking this question so that someone will remind me, so that where you put your hand into the snake and puppeted the thing, remember? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It was you did this, and it was like the monster, like it was like a puppet monster playset. You don't even remember what I'm talking about, do you?
I don't.
Someone's gonna know. Oh, that's it. Someone got it already.
Is it Fright Zone?
Fright Zone. Who had it first? I think it's Eric Munoz, but let me double check. Yeah. Fright Zone. Eric Munoz. That's 100% right. Whoa, that was loud. Fright Zone. Absolutely right. That's the correct answer. And I forgot the name, but I know that's accurate. The Fright Zone. You don't remember it, dude?
I'm looking this up right now.
Look it up. Because I never had it as a kid, and it was one of the coolest looking commercials. Oh, you get it now?
I remember this now. Yeah.
It's not huge, by the way. Like when you see how big it is compared to a figure, like it would almost constitute as a diorama base. It's a little bit bigger than that, but it's not a ton bigger.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I know.
It's cool, right?
I remember this now for sure.
Yeah. And I liked that it had that aspect that you could like move the thing around. So
yeah, you can like grab the action figure.
Yeah. 1/6 scale Fright Zone would be amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So Eric Munoz, you got it right first. Although congratulations, like everybody knew it because you guys are a real deal. And make sure to email support@mondoshop.com and let them know that you answered the second trivia question correctly and are going to get a $50 gift card to mondoshop.com. Awesome. All right.
Yeah. Amazing.
All right, you guys, we did it.
We did it.
What did we learn? We learned a lot about Sofubi and our Sofubi inspired Scareglow figure, right? Mm-hmm. That is available now until tomorrow around lunchtime, let's say 11:59 a.m. Central Time.
Right.
Don't miss it. Believe it or not, I say this every time, and every time someone proves me right. People at 12:01 will start messaging us, say, I just missed it. So if you think you know somebody who might want one and may not be paying as closely attention to everything that's happening online, let them know. But it is done tomorrow. There'll be other variants. We revealed that tonight. That was the other thing we learned. There are variants coming.
Variants, I think it's a big reveal. We hadn't announced it before, and we announced it here on the Toy Talk, right?
Yeah, so, people. It's good to watch Mondo Toy Talk. We break news here.
Yeah, and we planned on doing more of these kind of reveals as we do more Toy Talks for sure.
100%. We're having so much fun.
Gets revealed, we'll talk about it here.
Yes.
So we learned about that. We learned about once we shared the 1/6 scale.
Yes.
Scareglow Deluxe, right? We
Deluxe.
are Deluxe since we've done many other versions in the past. It is a deluxe. It comes with the most accessories that any other Scareglows come with, removable armor, the whole thing. So we're definitely excited.
And we showed off the heads and we showed off the new weapons. That was breaking news.
Accessories and Karak Nul, all that.
And then we did 2 giveaways.
And I learned about Fright Zone.
And I learned about Karak Nul.
Yeah.
And I remembered Fright Zone because I didn't remember it. Yeah. Amazing. That's amazing. And it's your birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
So amazing. Thank you guys all for joining us. We love doing these Toy Talks. We love that you guys show up. The response has been excellent. And, you keep showing up and we'll keep doing them and we'll keep giving away stuff and breaking news. Super excited about that. Again, Scareglow ends tomorrow. And then a ton of new stuff is on the way this year from your friends here at Mondo. So Hector, any parting thoughts? Where can people find you online? What is your Instagram handle? Everybody.
My Instagram handle is Arce Sculpture on IG. So HARCE Sculpture.
And for people for people who say your name on YouTube videos and don't know how to pronounce it, can you just say it once and for all?
Arce.
Arce.
Yeah.
Okay, not Arce.
Not Arce.
Heathens.
Not Arce. Yes.
Definitely not Arce. Arce.
Arce.
So yes, and I'm online everywhere at Attack Peter. You can follow us, and we're always posting new stuff. But thank you guys again. Thank you so very much for all you guys do for us. We're super excited.
Words, just real quick. Huge shout out to the team. Mondo team. Everyone here is amazing. Everyone, customer service and our logistics. Everyone is, without them, none of this even happens. So huge shout out to them. The marketing team, all of them are amazing. And then the internal toy team, right? Like we got Tommy, Alex, and then the folks who help us out on a regular. Emiliano, Pierre, who helped us out on the sculpt for this one. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone, and then all of you for supporting.
Jordan on the box we talked about.
Jordan, of course, how can I forget Jordan Christensen for the box. Amazing group of people. It takes a small army to make one of these, and it's really appreciated when folks come and support it.
Yeah, awesome. Well said, sir. All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you soon because we got more news. I think we have another one of these this month scheduled, right?
I don't know. Do we? Maybe.
I think we said so. Maybe. I think so. End of March.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. All right, you guys. We'll see you soon. Love you very much.
Thank you.